Welcome to your Magic Moon message. This is the Peace Dealer. We are at the new moon in Taurus. We've activated a brand new Taurus cycle. This is the last time Uranus is going to be in Taurus. So after 2 weeks and change on the full moon, we're going to conjunct that. But basically, this is your 2 weeks to plant seeds and develop not only the value of your character, but I mean, if anything, the stockpile, a redefinition of new values aligned with where you're taking your life and who you're becoming. Okay. Other than that, this new moon is square Pluto and it's also square Mars. So there is this breakthrough and dual integration of your own worth and valuing yourself versus an entire collective and social, aka socio collective, clash between those values relative to what other people may think in a collective sense. We're talking about entire groups of people who have their own beliefs, traditions, ideas around all sorts of shit, most of which you'll realize have little to nothing to do with you. So you're going to have people who conform, fold, and give into this collective pressure because they don't really have any power or sense of self outside of what they feel they need to give in to other people's validation. And then you're going to have people who actually have an internal locus of control and kind of wonder what audacity and unmitigated gall that other people may have to think you would care anything about what they think. There's really like two types of people. So you'll really understand who you are and who you're dealing with moving forward. You'll notice the indirect incongruence and cognitive dissonance between what people are passionately saying with a Mars and Leo versus what they're not doing or versus what their actions are saying, especially once again with that same Mars or with the Pluto opposition. I'm going to bring up the concept of other people because when we talk about oppositions in squares, they deal with outside influences. So as you're sowing these seeds to maintain your value, be very mindful with this T-square. There are these outside influences that see you as less as you are because of how you don't reinforce beliefs that they have. And that is just an expression of insecurity and inferiority. As you know, people will act unbothered, but will go out of their way indirectly to constantly repeat what they may not like about what you're doing, which signals you have power over them. But they're in denial around that. So they want to keep telling themselves to convince themselves versus, accepting what is. And just be very mindful of that. The tenets of like a strength card in Leo teach that you don't lower yourself in order to, spend time trying to prove yourself towards other people or try and make sense of things that are quite literally beneath you. And everything about a Taurus cycle everything about a Taurus cycle like this is 100,000% your own value. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot to do with how you feel about yourself, how you actually, stack up, your own latent self-esteem and quality. All right. So, for example, it's why, I could be on a mainstream media platform and someone puts out there that I'm a fraud or I'm a scammer, and you have millions of people going off the hearsay of someone who's never read a natal chart before, and all sorts of people leave thinking a certain way. I'm not really bothered. I know that there's not a single person who could ever say that I scammed them. So I'm not going to try and go back and forth and be like, no, they lied, I'm not a scam. Like, I know my value derives from within me. So, if anyone is going to really like thrive off of a lie, you're miserable inside. Do you get what I'm saying though? I'm not going to be fazed if a majority of other people believe a lie, because I know when it's time to demonstrate the truth, when it's time to actually express that comes from within me. I have that value. And there are a lot of people who will drag themselves thin trying to clear their name and make sense of everything. They have an external locus of control. Their value does not exist within them. They seek it from other people. And it's rare to find people who don't need the external validation. A lot of people talk about like they do, but it's really what's in you. And you know who's who and who's just pretending to fake the funk, because they'll talk about it, but their actions show they're constantly seeking validation. Don't be that type of person, because this is your opportunity to completely flip things on its head and remind you and other people who really holds the value in their hands. Okay, so you're only going to hear name calling, fallacious bullshit. You're not going to see anybody demonstrate anything. You're going to see people say stuff that's not based in reality, just on their opinion on you. And all you have to do is take everything you are aware you're worth and continue to add and build on that. You should look forward to people not liking you. You should look forward to people having issues with what you're doing, because that means that whatever friction is being created is brought about by something real. Okay, nothing that's unreal like that can cause a certain friction, and that friction leads to growth. Okay, so that, just be mindful of that. People trying to gaslight you or trick you out of your position because they realize they cannot influence you, they cannot manipulate you. Outside of that, this is a grand, amazing transit. I have a all wealth spell that you can say over the next 2 weeks that you will get immediate results for. Uranus and Taurus with this new moon is finalizing instant manifestation. So it's aligning you with this sense of value to facilitate this effortlessly and near instantly. And you don't have to tolerate bullshit. And this is the most important thing, guys. Listen, here's the all wealth spell. I have all power, I have all knowledge, I have all presence. This is the most important thing about Taurus season. And that's where it will feel like a compromise, because Taurus is all about the long term. And if you respect yourself, you will honor this. If you don't respect yourself, you will kind of cut corners for immediate gratification. You need to lock in. Listen, first of all, Uranus is radical. Uranus is innovation. It is innovative in nature. Okay, so with that being said, you have to lock on to a very radical and innovative sense of your self-worth. That's going to seem crazy to others. All right, chances are you're still shortchanging yourself, allowing people to lie to you and say you need a compromise for less than your worth. You know what your value is. You know what you're worth. If you fuck with Infinity Gang, you know you're an infinity year. So this is this simple. This is how easy this is. Watch. It's simple, but it's not easy. But it's easy. It's really easy. You know what you're worth. Who is treating you like less than your worth? Who is willing to compromise on what you're worth? Who is willing to argue with you? Who is willing to go back and forth and be like, well, you're not worth that much. Cut them out your life. They're done. Fuck them. It's over. What do we talk about? Why would you compromise with anyone on what you're worth? And the reason why that's so difficult for people to do is that if they were to really be hard on that, there would be a lot of people that they'd have to cut off. And then they're going to ask themselves, well, I still need this. Well, I still need to work here. Well, I mean, how am I going to get access to this? And those are all the things that you are putting over your own value and over what you're worth. A lot of people, when they realize how challenging that might be to stand alone in your own value and only let those who honor and recognize it is, then you realize why the people who value themselves the least have the most friends. They are around the most people. They give their power away to the most people. It ain't nothing. I'm committing to this for sure. As soon as I ever practiced this, the quality of my life skyrocketed. And I don't just be having people around me just to be around me. It's recognition only basis. And I'm not telling anyone else how to live their life, but I swear to God, you do this will change your life overnight. And if it's challenging, it's supposed to be challenging. It's going to reveal how many people you've kept around you that don't even recognize your worth, who you are, your value, what you're meant to do. And it's as simple as that. You're going to set an intention. This is what I'm worth. This is what I have. This is what I want to build. Anybody who's not supporting that, anybody who doesn't align with that, anyone who doesn't add to that, there's no reason why you should be sharing your energy with them. There's no reason why they should be in your life. Anyone that has the wherewithal to, if they challenging it, they have to challenge it positively with anything based in reality. If for any reason you entertaining people who feel they have the luxury to argue with you with what you know you're worth, there's no reason you should be investing any attention, time, or energy towards these people. I'm going to say this one more time. When people realize that maybe a lot of people in their life are like that, and they might have to actually pull back from all those people, they get scared because they feel like they need other people outside of them to add to their wealth. I pray that that's not you. Okay, I hope that you have the fortitude and value and worth in yourself to effortlessly, like, bye bitch, when you figure it out, come back. That's it. The way people in your life will transform the way they deal with you once you actually make it clear that you really don't need anything that's going to entertain anyone seeing you as less than you are in your worth, and you do it during this new moon, you'll instantly see the results. And that's where with Mars and Leo, you must be prepared to maintain that advantage and stand on your value. We don't have to agree to disagree. You can get the fuck out my face. It's literally that simple. And Mars opposition of Pluto and Aquarius will intensify that pressure collectively. And if anything, your goal is to not try and prove everything wrong. It's to stand for what you're worth, regardless of what's thrown your way. Because I promise you, outside of the talk and all this, peer pressure, people are real. WLBs, SLBs, that's all I'm going to say. And outside and behind that mask, there's no substance, which is why you're being challenged in the first place versus those, which is why I'm saying this transit isn't all bad at all. There's nothing bad about this transit. This, in standing for your value, allows now those who align with that value to actually come through and add to it. Okay, so that's really the purpose of this. This is going to open the space for you to now build on this foundation. But if you just keep compromising, if you allow people to renegotiate what you're worth, you're not going to be standing on anything that will allow what is for you to come for you. You will have just given it away. And I pray that that's not you. Okay, so activate this cycle quite properly. The moon, of course, is going to later on in the transit conjunct Uranus, sextile Saturn, and Venus as that goes into Aries, and that's going to ground more tangibly these belief systems and this perspective you've appropriately changed. Please don't fall for the BS. Please don't get caught up in the whole host of a lot of people who swear they know what they're talking about. They don't. All right. Focus on what's been revealed to you. Everyone thinks they know everything. Very little do. They're not the ones talking about it. They're demonstrating. Okay. And as now everything we've activated is grounding in a nature that will allow you to sense more physiologically. This is going to prepare for the subsequent Gemini season. But until then, really plant and sow those seeds. We won't start integrating until a week from now, and we won't start harvesting until 2 weeks from now. Okay. And let me tell you something. When people realize that you are willing to stand on your own too, and you will not fold for anyone, you're going to start to see true terror. You're going to start to see that a lot of their front was just an act, and that when they see they can't shake you, you will immediately see the way they move towards you completely change. And when they do, still don't compromise. Don't just switch up because they switch it up just to see if, are we cool now? Like, you set your value, stick with it, and grow it. You stay blessed as always, and I'll see you next video.